It's now time for the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube, iTunes, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and the MikeWagnerShow.com. Mike brings you great guests and interesting people from all across the globe. So sit back, relax, and enjoy another great episode of the Mike Wagner Show.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support at sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can check our Facebook page at Facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, Radio Public, iTunes, Google Play, Deezer, Stitcher, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Also follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. And look for the Mike Wagner Show on over 35 podcast platforms. Just search the Mike Wagner Show and listen on your favorite device. We're here with a wonderful gentleman, the CEO of Amora Coffee out of New York City. And he's been doing coffee for quite some time. He spent over 15 years as CEO of a marketing group, helping organizations like Kraft Foods, Nestle, Save the Children, AARP, Scholastic, and more. I mean, just a very passionate guy. And, of course, he also, is an advocate for entrepreneurship, e-commerce, and he's been doing coffee for quite some time and does it a very, very special blend. And I'm having some coffee right now with this wonderful gentleman from New York City, live here on the Mike Wagner Show, the CEO of Amora Coffee, and he's got coffee pumped in his veins and ordering some more without the cream, Jim Fosina. Jim, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Good afternoon, Mike. Thank you for having me today. Pleased to be on your show.
Well, it's great to have you as well, too. Enjoying some great coffee here. And you're the CEO of Amora Coffee. You've been doing coffee for a while. You've spent over 15 years as CEO of Fosina Marketing. You helped organizations like Kraft Foods, Nestle, Save the Children, Scholastic, World Book, and more. And you've got a great coffee lineup. And we're here to talk about coffee. And, of course, in today's times, what's going on as well, too, why it's good to have coffee and why coffee helps and everything. And before we get into all that, tell us how you got started in your marketing career.
So I actually started my marketing career coming right out of school and went right into Kraft Foods, working for the direct-to-consumer division of Amora Coffee, and had the opportunity to see that division grow from a concept into a very large direct-to-consumer coffee subscription business. And so I really came right from school, right into direct-to-consumer marketing, and had the opportunity to work with wonderful companies like Kraft Foods and Nestle and Scholastic, all on the corporate side before going into entrepreneurship, and really understanding the direct-to-consumer model, which is a model that is being adopted by many, many more today, and as our Gen Z and our millennials buy more at home, but especially more today as we're all sitting at home today.
Mm-hmm. And of course, many people work out of the home, and of course, coffee being such a necessity. And what's the moment that influenced you into having your own line of coffee?
So having the opportunity to sell direct to consumer over several years on the corporate side, I really had the opportunity to learn and understand what consumers wanted to receive at home and why they wanted to receive it at home, and whether that was coffee, whether it was water, or whether it was books, or whether it was any kind of sustained giving and donations. I really gained a really good understanding as to why consumers wanted to buy at home, and the convenience factor and that factor of having a relationship with a company. And as I learned more about that, I really wanted to be more on the entrepreneur side and be able to help companies that had products that were already in the retail space or already available to consumers elsewhere other than direct-to-consumer, and help them bring their product to the direct-to-consumer market. And that's really how I started my passion for wanting to help other companies get into this direct-to-consumer space.
Mm-hmm. And it sounds amazing as well, too. And, of course, we'll talk coffee as well, too. And, of course, you have a special process. But first, how do you normally like your coffee when you have it in the morning?
So when I have my coffee in the morning, I like to have it very strong, and I like to drink it black. And so you started off with saying putting coffee in the veins, and I really do have coffee in the veins. I've been working in the coffee space now for 32 years. So,
wow!
And so
they've been touching for a long time.
Coffee is an absolute necessity for me. For me, anyway. It's a real necessity. And so I'm starting off my day with a cup of great coffee. Is something that really inspired both me and my co-founder to really want to bring a great cup of coffee to the household, so that when you first woke up, you didn't have to run to the coffee shop. You didn't wait for that first cup of coffee for when you got to the office, and you weren't running out and buying coffee from different coffee shops and different stores. But you had the opportunity to have that coffee at home, and as soon as you got up, you were able to have a great cup of coffee, a great fresh cup of coffee. The whole value proposition behind what we wanted to bring to our consumers was we roast in small batch, we hand pack, we ship by 2-day priority mail to you, so that we get coffee to you in what we believe is as fresh as we can get it to you. So, and there really is a difference between fresh coffee and coffee that sits on the store shelves for months and months, whether that be the supply chain or sitting on the shelf, or even buying coffee beans at a specialty store where they're sitting in a bin and exposed to oxygen and really eroding in flavor and aroma. It was so important to us to bring coffee to the household for the number one thing that was going to happen in the morning.
Mm-hmm. And we'll talk about the process, the 9-step version, and why it's so important. The first, listen to the Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on themikewagnershow.com. You can check our Facebook page at facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, Radio Public, iTunes, Google Play, Apple, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Also follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. We're here with the CEO of Amora Coffee, Jim Fosina, out of New York City, here on the Mike Wagner Show. Everybody loves a cup of coffee in the morning, and the way his company, Amora Coffee, does their coffee, it's a special 9-step process. And take us through these 9 steps in the process of this wonderful coffee.
So, Mike, the difference between our process and many other processes is that we are going to small batch roast, which means we're never going to put more than 50, 60, 70 pounds of coffee into the roaster at one time. And we are going to go through a 9-stage roasting process, which is certainly a proprietary process to Amora. But the 9-stage roasting process is starting at the very beginning, and the temperature and the flare of how we are roasting our beans all the way through the end and the cooling down period is all critical as to how we're going to deliver the best, most sustainable, non-brittle bean that we're going to be able to grind and hand pack, or even if you want us to send the coffee to you in whole beans, we'll be able to send it to you in a fashion that's going to be easy to grind. So going through that 9-stage proprietary type of process is very critical so that we are not mass producing coffee. And mass producing coffee is where we feel that you can lose a little bit of the controls and the quality assurance. So very important to us that we are checking every step of the way across all 9 of those stages.
And where do you get the coffee beans from?
Our coffee beans come from all around the world, and so we have coffee that are single origin coffees that right now we happen to be focused on bringing the best of the crop from Guatemala. Other times we are doing blends that include coffees from Hawaii. There are other times where we are going to Central America, we're going to South America, and we are making sure that we are bringing in the absolute best blend of beans. Even if we have to reach all the way out to Africa, we are going to bring in beans that are going to consistently deliver the taste profile that we are looking to bring to our consumers.
Mm-hmm. And it also got quite a number of blends as well, too. You got the Delicata blend, you got the Elegante, Vigorosi, you got the Intenso, and tell us about those wonderful blends you have. You're making me thirsty for more coffee with these blends.
Well, we'll just have to send you a little bit more.
Sounds good. Just send me a long IV from New York. I mean, we can handle it from New York to north of Canada here. So, yeah, I can handle that. So,
fantastic. So let's take our base blend, right? So our base blends are going to be a Delicata, Elegante, a Vigorosi, and an Intenso. And in that lineup, your Delicata is going to be your lighter roast, with your Elegante being more of a medium roast, and your Vigorosi being more of a darker roast, and your Intenso is really a bold, richer, dark roast. So it's really the same blend of, essentially the same blend of coffees that are being roasted at different roast levels, so that it can appeal to the lighter blend palette all the way up to the very rich, bold, dark palette.
It almost sounds like going from a light breakfast to a very dark coffee. And I noticed that you have sweet lemon, you also have chocolate, and you also got just a lot of things, bittersweet, nuts, and also just various fruits. And where do you get these various fruits like the lemon and also the chocolate? Where do you get those from, and what countries?
So when you're looking at and then there's 2 different ways of when we're looking at flavors. So one is the flavors that come out in our regular blends and in our base blends, and those are the Delicatas or all the way up to the Intensos that we just discussed. And that is all based on the blending of the different beans as to whether you're going to get a fruity or whether you're going to get an earthy or whether you're going to get a different type of a chocolate or a cherry type of aroma and taste that is going to come out of that. And that's actually in the selection of the beans itself and the combination of the beans itself. So when we talk about fruity and nutty and chocolatey and earthy, that is actually coming from the bean and the sourcing and where they've been grown and the altitude and the climate that they've been in. And those are the flavor notes that you will receive when you're sipping, cupping, slurping a cup of Amora coffee. When you start talking about like different types of flavors, like real flavored coffee, when we start talking about our French vanillas and our chocolate truffle and our caramel vanilla and our hazelnut cinnamon and some of our other seasonal flavors like a blueberry or a pumpkin spice or a southern pecan or a chocolate cherry, that's very different. That's when we're actually developing flavored coffee.
That sounds amazing, too. And my wife and my family love the French vanilla. And, of course, I'm a little more of a chocolate person, chocolate truffle and everything else. And what are some of the other flavors you anticipate on having coming up in 2020? Or what flavors are you currently experimenting right now?
So in 2020, right now, we have our spring flavor, which is a blueberry flavor. Believe it or not, blueberry coffee. It is very, very popular, and it's quite tasty. So we have blueberry coffee for our spring. As we go into our summer, we're going to have Southern pecan, which is going to have a very nutty type of pecan taste. And as we go into the fall, we have to have pumpkin spice. So pumpkin spice is going to be in the fall. And then as we get into the holidays, and especially as we go towards Valentine's Day, because remember, Amora is all about love, and February is the month of love. We have our chocolate cherry.
Oh, that's amazing. Looking forward to as well, too. And not only do coffee, you also do teas. We'll talk about that part, but first listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960, or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention The Mike Wagner Show. Get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on themikewagnershow.com. You can check our Facebook page at facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, Radio Public, iTunes, Google Play, Apple, and more. Take The Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to The Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Also follow The Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. We're here with the CEO of Amora Coffee, Jim Fosina, here on The Mike Wagner Show of New York City. We talked a lot about coffee. We talked about the process of the coffee, the 9 steps, the various blends, the various flavors, and we're going to switch over to the tea. It's not just coffee he features, but it's also tea. And can talk about the including of tea and how you go about making the tea, where you get the tea leaves, and just tell them more about it. And I'm getting someone to make my tea right now too as we speak. So.
Fantastic. So we actually launched Amora Coffee in 2011, and we launched Amora Tea a couple of years later after our customers were giving us a lot of feedback that, hey, we also have tea drinkers in the household, and if you're able to bring us a really fresh, high quality coffee like you're doing with Amora Coffee, what do we do with our tea drinkers? And so, and one of the things that we actually were trying to think through ourselves was, a coffee drinker is a coffee drinker, a tea drinker is a tea drinker, and that's not what we found. We found that there was a lot of coffee consumption in the morning, early afternoon, and then there was a very distinct switch over to tea in the evening and after dinner and even before bed. So we found that it was pretty important to offer our consumers a tea line. And so we wanted to make sure that for those who want to start their day with tea, we would make sure we'd have an English breakfast tea. Those who want to have tea maybe in the afternoon and have afternoon tea or early evening tea, we would have like an Earl Grey tea. But so in the black tea environment. But then we also found that they were very much looking for other types of teas, like a chamomile or a green cloud mist or jasmine or ginger lemongrass, and it was really important to them that they also had these other types of teas that were going to be more herbal in nature and not just a black tea. And we sell quite a bit of tea, and especially around the holidays, we have a high demand for like a peppermint tea. We also have demand around the year for a chai tea, and this is one of those lines that we are absolutely focused on expanding because tea from a flavor standpoint is very, very distinct relative to the types of tea leaves that you're picking and you're harvesting. And for us, we're only picking from the top of the bush. When you're picking from the top of the bush, that is the highest quality of the tea leaves. So it's very important for us to high quality tea leaves into or organic type of sachets that are also biodegradable, and we're not doing any damage to our earth.
That is amazing, too. I'm ready for some tea right now. And where do you get the best tea leaves? where do you get the best tea leaves at? You talked about getting your coffee beans from South America, parts of Africa, and pretty much all over the world. Where do you get the best tea leaves from?
So it's the same. It's from all over the world, and there's no one particular tea leaf that we're going to buy. It is really important for us to always be buying at the top of the quality market. So we may be buying tea from one region this month, and may be buying tea from another region another month. So a little different than coffee. Like coffee, there's a lot of very single origin coffees, but tea, you have much more flexibility in terms of where you can harvest a really good high quality tea leaf, and that's absolutely imperative. So you're always watching climate, and you're always watching where the best crop is going to be.
Also, any brand new flavors in terms of tea coming up in 2020?
We plan on bringing out a hibiscus tea. Believe it or not, there is a significant demand for hibiscus, and so we all think of that as a beautiful, wonderful summer flower. But it makes an amazing tea.
And how do people order coffee and tea from you guys?
So first of all, it's simple. You can always go to amoracoffee.com. That's AMORA coffee.com, or even amoratea.com. But you'll find all of our coffees and all of our teas at either one of those URLs. But most of the time, we will find our customers in assimilated types of areas, whether it's a gardening or a food or a wine or a spirits or any kind of consumable type of product. We will align ourselves with consumers that are buying those consumable products, goods and services into their home, and that's where we seem to find the best assimilated customers.
And of course, with the coronavirus going right now, everybody's sequestered. It's most important that the coffees and teas get sent out right away, but it's also a good opportunity not only to drink the Amora coffee and tea at home, also would it also be a good opportunity for those working out of the home to help sell or be like an affiliate. You can just tell us about that.
So, one of the things that's really interesting, Mike, is that if you had asked me 2, 3, 4 weeks ago, or maybe closer to 3, 4, 5 weeks ago, would some of our strategy be what it is today versus what it was a month ago? No, and one thing I could tell you is, as an entrepreneur, to be able to react to the changes that COVID-19 and this coronavirus has brought to us, the reality is nobody's experienced this before, and nobody really understands what the fallout from this is going to be. And as an entrepreneur, the one thing I could say that is absolutely paramount is that you have to deal with what's in front of you right now. You absolutely have to be able to react and deal with what's happening today. And in the case of Amora Coffee, myself and my co-founder Marina DiDomenico, who has been working in the coffee business for as long as I, we took a step back and we had said, look, the landscape has really changed right now, and everybody's at home. And so we could look at that and say, well, everybody's at home and there's an opportunity to capitalize. And we took a little bit of a different approach. A lot of what we do is, we've never wanted to profit off of somebody else's misfortune. And in this particular case, we have a misfortune of the entire world. We really are all in this together. And so what we did is we put out what we believe to be the most generous offer we've ever been able to offer out on the open market, because there are so many people today who are now at home. They are not going to the coffee store. They are not going to the baristas. They are not getting their coffee at work, and they are consuming so much coffee at home. Okay, and we wanted to sort of help pay back give back, pay forward. And so we put an offer out there specifically for this time frame. That right now, if you want to buy Amora Coffee and you want to subscribe and you want to get your first shipment, we're going to give you 75% off your first shipment. And in addition to that, if you need to double that because you have more people in your home, we'll even give you 50% off doubling your shipment. And we're going to give you free shipping for life. And we're going to give you an additional 10% off of all your purchases for life. Why? Because we're all in this together. And we felt that the least we could do is try and bring a little bit more coffee into the household. And so that has been a very big focus of mine and my partner for the past 2 weeks. It has been 24/7.
The only thing I can say is you guys are beautiful. I have to say that. So you also have a coffee bundle, which is including all kinds, and you can just tell us about the coffee bundle, which is beautiful.
Yes, it is beautiful, and the focus of our coffee bundle was for those who really wanted to develop their own little barista style in their home. We're going to give you a 12-cup coffee maker. We're going to give you a canister to store your coffee in. We're going to give you a scoop to measure out the exact amount of coffee you need. We're going to give you a couple of travel mugs because we want you to drink this at home, and we want you to take this away from home when we're all allowed to go out and play again. We want you to be able to take this with you, and we're going to give you 4 bags of coffee, and we're going to do all of that. It's a $100 value. We're going to do all of that for, I think it's $29. There's some shipping and handling associated with it, but the whole point of that is to be able to indoctrinate you into this brew your own coffee at home. And we feel that if you're going to brew some very fresh, good quality coffee, you need all new gear, and that's why we're sending you a new coffee maker and the canister and all those fun things, because you need all new gear when you start with Amora Coffee. And that has worked out very, very well for our consumers. Our consumers really do enjoy that starter kit, if you would, and they come back and they buy so much more. One of the things that's very important to us as a company has been that we are sustainable and we're eco-friendly. And so if you notice in our lineup, you're not going to see any K-cups, you're not going to see any pods, you're not going to see anything that's going to fill landfills, okay? And the other side of that is, in order to be really fresh, you need to be able to roast and get into the consumer's hands very quickly. And when you're doing K-cups or pods, you have to run in very large runs, and you have to store it for a long time. You can't be all that fresh. And then, of course, the extraction from a K-cup versus a pour over or a drip coffee maker is very different, because you're coming through with such pressure and intense extraction that you're pulling all the bitters and all of the things into a cup of coffee that you probably don't want.
That is amazing too, and I could tell that you guys roast in a very special way, and that's just amazing. And of course, I just want to clarify too that how does your roasting process differ from the other guys?
So once again, proprietary in nature, but I think the 9-stage roasting process that we go through is really 9 steps of intense scrutiny and quality assurance and quality checks as we're going through the roasting process, as opposed to roasting processes that may be half those number of steps. And so it's absolutely critical that, very similar to when you put an amazing roast into the oven, you don't just let it go. You're constantly checking it, you're constantly basting it, and you're making sure it hits the right temperature. That's the best way I could explain it. This is our Sunday dinner style of making sure that every bean we send out is roasted to what we believe is perfection.
And, of course, for those who love coffee, you can also share the love. You also have what's called a Project Waterfall. You can just tell us about that for all the coffee lovers.
So for my partner and I, which, by the way, my partner and I co-founded this, and we're actually married. So we're very we have a real strong passion for what we're doing with Amora. But one of the things that was very important to us as a family-owned business, as husband and wife, and as contributors to society. It was very important to us that we had some level of a give back and pay forward part of our business. So when we brew our coffee every single day, as we're taking water from the tap or we're taking water from a bottle, it really doesn't matter. We all know that we need good, clean water to make a good pot of coffee or a good cup of coffee. Well, in so many coffee growing regions around the world, there isn't the same access to good, clean, healthy water as we all take for granted here. And they're harvesting beans, and they don't have access to great water. Mm-hmm. So Project Waterfall is all about giving back to communities, coffee growing, coffee harvesting communities that don't have easy access to good, clean water. And right now, we are participating in developing and drilling wells in a town in Ethiopia, so that we can try and bring good, clean water to those who bring us great coffee.
That is fantastic. And I'm going to have some coffee after this. And what are your upcoming plans for 2020 and beyond?
So for 2020 and beyond, our plan is to continue bringing more coffee into more households as our consumer purchase behavior, absent what's going on in our current COVID environment, but consumer purchase behavior has shifted and continues to shift to buying more products directly into the home. So our goal is to service as many households as we can in the U.S. We're in the entire U.S. and Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands. But going into next year and this year and next year, our secret early plans are that we plan on expanding our product line by twofold, both in the single origin coffees and our blends of coffees and our flavored coffees. So stand by, stay tuned. We have a lot more and some very exciting different types of coffees and specials and seasonals coming out.
Well, speaking of specials, seasonals, and everything else, you can also not just buy coffee, you can also subscribe to coffee, also subscribe to tea. You can tell us about that.
Yes, so if you come to our website, you could either subscribe to coffee, or you could subscribe to tea, or you could subscribe to both. And if you don't want to subscribe, you could just go into our store and you could buy 1 bag of coffee, 100 bags of coffee, 1 tin of tea, 100 tins of tea. It's everything about Amora is the service you control. It has to be about how much coffee you want to receive and how often you want to receive that. And do you want us to put you on the schedule that you've established? Then we'll go ahead and put you on the schedule that you've established. If you want to buy it as you go and you come to the store and you buy it at your preference, you can do that too. If you would like to subscribe and you use our online dashboard, at any time, you can come in and you could change your flavors, you could change your blends, you can change your shipping interval, you can change the number of bags of coffee or tea that you're going to receive, and you could change your address, you could change your payment information. You can do anything you want in your dashboard. Now, by the way, if you don't want to do it in the dashboard, just call one of our coffee concierges, because they are here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, and they'll talk to you, they'll email with you, or you can go online and you could chat with them. And our absolute critical mission is to make sure that every single customer that contacts us leaves the communication in an absolutely better frame of mind than they entered the communication. And that could be if they want to cancel, we're going to make it easy for you to cancel. If you want to buy more, we're going to make it very easy for you to buy more. If you want to set up a particular plan, maybe it's too expensive and we need to reduce the cost and we need to reduce shipping and handling, we're here for you. And we really do hold our customers absolutely is our number one priority and very, very near and dear to our hearts.
That is fantastic. And don't forget the IVs for many of us as well.
Absolutely. So, and you know, you brew it in a 12-cup coffee maker, and you'd be surprised how fast it goes.
Sounds good. We will do that. Jim Fosina, the CEO of Amora Coffee, big thank you for your time. And once again, tell us about your upcoming projects. What's your website? How do people contact you? And where can people purchase your great coffee and tea?
Well, first of all, Mike, I'm going to say thank you to you. But if you'd like to visit Amora, or you'd like to buy Amora or subscribe to Amora, just come to amoracoffee.com, and you will find a whole selection of coffees and flavored coffees and teas. You can subscribe. You can buy one at a time. If you go there, you'll actually see right at the top of our website today, you will see our very, very generous offer, if you would, which is the enjoy your coffee at home or work for studying at home, where we're going to give you 75% off, and that's in our response to what's happening with COVID-19. But please go ahead and order from there. And going forward, continue to check the website, because we're going to be launching new products as we roll out 2020. As a matter of fact, in just a few days, you're going to see a special crop that we've been able to secure from Guatemala that we are going to be selling to, and we're going to be selling to all of our consumers, actually at 40% off, Mike. Once again, it's not about discounts. It's not about sales. It's about bringing more coffee into the household during this time of coronavirus. So if we can secure the crop and we can get it to our consumers in a fashion that works for everybody, we'll give you the 40% discount, because we can, and that's what we want to do.
Sounds great, Jim. Jim Fosina, thank you very much. You've been fantastic. Look forward to having you again soon. Do us a favor, keep this up to date, and let's keep the coffee pot going. And I'm ready for some more for you.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. And Mike, I really appreciate the opportunity to chat with you today. And just one big shout out to all of our Amora customers. A big thank you. Stay safe, stay home, and drink good coffee.
Thanks for listening to the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, YouTube, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and themikewagnershow.com. Please support our program with your donations at themikewagnershow.com. Join us again next time for another great episode of The Mike Wagner Show.